the idea behind the creation of rotational energy in a throw, in a time-sensitive throw, is, yeah, we want to stick into the drive leg, but dude, right when the drive leg is stuck, right, we stick into the ground, boom, put force into the ground. Right when that happens, dude, we want to snap it. Yours goes, right? Yours goes, it's starting to snap, but your body's almost thinking that it needs to have more time to do this because your rotation may be a bit late. And so it tries to create more space. And that's where you get this aggressive lead leg pull. And anytime that we have these kind of movement compensations, again, as athletes, we're the best compensators, dude. So it's like your body will find a way to kind of complete this task. Anytime we have this, like you throw off natural alignment. And sure, some athletes are just so incredibly gifted at their compensations that those compensations can just be natural movements. But I think for you right now, it's affecting a lot of different things, because as you land, if we just looked at like overall postures of your anchor point, this is what I would say with like not getting the most power output potential in that limited window, because what happens, your shoulders are rotating with your hips, and that's not what we want. We want disassociation prior to like truly anchoring down. So if you look at the anchor point as a means to like solidify our postures and truly understand like how much stretch we're creating, because we can all create stretch. You can see it here, like, yeah, your hips are going, these are starting to go, your torso is neutral, you're in a good spot. And then I think what happens, well, a couple different things happen. One, you could have what everyone has at 20 years old and younger is a little bit of torso trunk instability. And two, what everyone has now in 2025, because we are on our devices all the time, is a little cervical rotation issue, which is the idea behind like if our eyes can't pick up linear where we're trying to express this power, the body's going to find a way to compensate. And that's usually done by what, probably pulling off to create a little bit more space of that front shoulder so you can actually see where you're going, which is, obviously not what we want, because we want neutral torso, hips into rotation, creation of stretch, leverage, capture, go. So hopefully that makes sense, dude. Like it's one big thing. Like I literally have like what I'm going to write in your analysis report is literally just falls under the umbrella of segmentation mechanics, but there's a ton of different ripple effects, right? So the cervical rotation, the glove side instability, the torso instability, dude, everything looks solid from the jump, right? Like you're getting linear, right? Your eyes are somewhat locked in. Okay. And your glove side stable, which keeps your torso stable. It's just this teaching that your body just started to develop to create a little bit more space. And I'm going to have a ton of good drill progressions that I just actually got back from a trip out to the East Coast and filmed some good content. And there's a lot of different like wacky drill progressions that I'm going to actually put into your report, and feel free to like do as many of them as you can. Most of them are like jumping off the mound and throwing, or spinning in a chair, or just catching off a chair with no legs, feet hovering off the ground, because your body knows how to create leverage. It knows how to create stretch. Sometimes when we add in just so much like movement of a pre-shuffle throw, or we try to overcomplicate things from the mechanical standpoint, or we're articulating mentally, like it doesn't allow for it to happen. Your body knows how to create it. And it's just more so about like getting you in the right environment to truly influence the most optimal movements that you can get. So obviously I would say that there is a cervical rotation component, because you can kind of see what happens as you get into your throw, right? So like the two halves move together. You don't get a whole lot of stretch, and then you kind of just fly open, right? Watch your chin. Boom. So there is an idea that, if you think about it like a snake, right? The body's going to go where the head goes. So if our head wants to kind of pull, our body's going to pull with it. And then now we're not getting as much as that. Like I said, I know it's a weird kind of terminology phrase, but that linear energy distribution. We are always attempting to be perfect and try to get as much energy back as possible. It's not always going to happen. And it's more so oftentimes than not, it's never going to happen. But these are all areas of improvement. So I would say a lot of it's going to be the stability aspect, because at 16, there is instability. It's going to be really hard for us to maintain linear direction while we move, especially as an outfielder, dude, because you have so much momentum and acceleration to kind of stabilize that sometimes everything kind of, gets a little thrown off. So this is what I want to show you. This is Cody Bellinger, a little old. This is exactly what I was referring to with the idea behind Outfielder's job being complete a task in extremely high power output throw in a very very limited time. And that's why I love looking at outfielders throwing mechanics, because it's like you force efficiency because of the task and the environment, right? So catch, get it out of the glove into the hand as quickly as possible. Usually you want to sync that up with the dry foot so you can separate and slam into the ground at the same time, right? So you see how that works. And you do that pretty well. So then this is what I was referring to with the load and go. So stick and go, right? So the drive leg sticks, you want to put force into the ground, but you don't want to get stuck, right? Because I would say the outfielder's main objective is to create as much rotational energy as possible, not so much like a pitcher sometimes where it's like put more into the ground, stay back, stay back. Outfielders, like you want to stick and go because you want to create that stretch, that rotational energy. So boom, stick, and then watch how this just starts to open up. The lead foot just opens up, which is going to open up the pelvis. And at that time, this, right, the shoulder, the arm action, it's just retracting. So I love this idea of retract and rotate, especially for time-sensitive tasks, because what you do is instead of using the glove side as a means to maintain the torso neutral, is you're essentially just allowing the throwing arm in its retraction phase to keep the torso neutral. So what happens is you can actually kind of peel that glove side. So you see how Bellinger kind of peels that glove side, but he's still able to create all this stretch. What we have is picture perfect in the sense of like allowing his body to naturally create this rotation energy and having the hand above the elbow flipped up, ready to capture it, right? So like that's the missing piece, I would say, comparatively, is we have a little bit of compensations, right? There's a lot of compensations that happen as we're younger, instability issues, mobility issues, you name it. And then the idea of like, it looks like you kind of just get a little bit late to rotate, the late rotation of the hips, which you being a superior athlete, your body being a superior athlete, understanding like what it needs, what it doesn't need, it's going to try to create more space with that lead leg to give you more time. And then the whole idea of the cervical rotation, the eyes off the target. So this is another piece you'll notice, since his hips are cleared, his drive leg, trail leg will stay in extension, whereas yours kind of shoots. See how it shoots aggressively forward? That would be the idea behind like an aggressive trail leg hip flexion, trunk instability issues, and you're not clearing your hips. This is where I would say like it's going to get extremely, I don't want to say confusing, but like, write this down. This whole guideline, right, in terms of the instructional program, like I said earlier, it's not going to be super hands-on instructional because I just don't really know what drills are going to give you what. Everyone's different with stimulus. The idea behind the report is like, yeah, we have the main mechanical breakdown segmentation. We have all these ripple effect breakdowns, all these compensations, got it. So the idea behind like the development of it is very precise with how we move forward, because your body having already have all these different compensations, like I talked about with the lead foot, the cervical rotation, the pulling, all these things, is we have to dedicate pretty intentional repetitions in your drill progressions, in your warm-ups or whatever it is, to like preset progressions. So you have like preset progressions getting you into a set where like your feet are linear, and we're essentially teaching your brain, because it's the brain that's responsible for the way your body's moving. We're teaching your brain that these are the kind of the alignments. Some people will say it's kind of eyewash, but I really do believe in just your body is a byproduct of the repetitions that you consistently give it each and every day. So given with where we're at now with an overall just regular throw, there is time that we need to take to like truly get into our preset progressions, feet in line, hips into rotation, torso neutral. You have preset progressions with just a throw, preset progressions, med ball tosses, movement prep with preset counterbalance progressions, which is a heavy object in your glove hand to allow that to work a little bit more freely. You have preset directional progressions. Couldn't encourage you more. When you do the preset progressions, make sure you're intentional with full cervical rotation. I know it's tough, dude. It's tough, but the sacrifice and the price you got to pay, to be great is like serious commitment to each and every single rep. And then you'll see like the trail leg hip extension progressions. Like I said earlier, you're a little flexor, a little flexing forward. So we want to actually get you into different slopes, even if you're an outfielder, right? Like I want to get you into different stimulus to force your body to organize from an uphill rep, force your body to organize from a downhill rep, force your body to organize from a flat ground rep. And all these different reps, all this different stimulus is just going to breed into your body's ability to just remain adaptable. And that's why I love the idea behind the two-way progressions, because athlete. What's up, dudes? Your boy Robby Rowland. Thank you for watching that video. If you're interested in booking your own analysis, be sure to click the link that you see right there on the video screen. It will tell you everything you need to know about booking an analysis with me. And if you have any further questions for me, be sure to check out the description of the YouTube video you just watched for a link to contact me directly. Much love, guys. Until next time, talk to you later.